May 24th, 2002, Friday. I wanted to call in today, but I knew I couldn't. I got to work on hardly any sleep at 11:15, and I've been running around like mad ever since. It's now 2:15 p.m. and I can finally sit down, but only for 5 minutes. I had to thread and make splices and change turrets and all this stupid crap. Marilyn called me, and I wasn't very happy to speak with anyone, let alone her. She asked if she could call back later. If you want, I said. Okay, fine. And she hangs up. 5 seconds later, she calls back. What are you doing this weekend? I work all day today and tomorrow morning. Well, Tim's parents are out of town, and we'll probably be over there if you want to come. Probably not. Do you always have to act like a jerk when I talk to you? Yeah. You're just pissed because I'm living my life. And she hangs up. It's now been 3 weeks since I've seen any of my guys. I'm getting colder and deader. I want my insides to burn completely out so I don't fall for this shit called love again. In a way, the 2 years that I spent with Marilyn are growing to be the most painful thing in my life. Quote, there is no need to test my heart with useless space. Dashboard confessional, song, living in your letters. 5:15 p.m. Finally, all of my booth work is done. I just wrote a poem/song lyrics called A Farewell to Tripsy. It's okay, I guess. 7:45 p.m. Jason was scheduled to work booth tonight, but he's helping a friend through a tough time, so I'm working booth tonight until close. That's cool, I guess, because I can thread everything for tomorrow morning. Kirk called me about an hour ago and was hoping I wasn't working and was wanting to go to Tim's. I didn't tell him that I don't plan on going over at all for the whole weekend. I can't get the whole Will and Marilyn thing out of my head. Whenever I can stop and breathe and have a second to think, it pops into my head, and it fucking sucks. All the hipsters from work are going to stay over at Ashley's tonight. I actually wanted to stay with Lance and Eric when we were initially going to stay at Lance's, but once they decided to go to Ashley's, I changed my mind. Except I did reconsider it, since I will be here until 1:30 a.m. instead of 11 p.m. as I originally planned. Fuck it, I'll just go home. That way I can try and sleep and shower, too. 10:20 p.m. I redid that poem/song lyrics and decided that although the title fits, I don't like it, because I've used it before for something else. I'll wait to see what Elliot thinks and then try and create a better fitting and even greater title. 12:45 a.m. Saturday. 40 minutes before I can leave. Kirk just called and left a drunken message. In the past, I found them funny. Now they're just plain sad. If we continue on like the way they are, and I was, we'll be 30 and still drinking every weekend and wasting away to drunk dust. I just realized that yesterday, Friday's entry, the 24th of May, was the 1-year anniversary of me writing A Dream for Lamentation. I never knew then that it would eventually start to become true. Then it was a painful dream. Now it's an even more painful reality. Quote, on the way home, this car hears my confessions. I think tonight I'll take the long way. I think that's from Sharp Pen and New Tears, Dashboard Confessional. I get to be back here in less than 11 hours. Aren't I so fucking lucky? By the time I leave this morning, I will have been here 14 hours. I threaded and started 75 shows and did rolling stock add-ons on 8 movies and broke down Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, which is 9 reels. And even with my recent raise, I get paid less than anyone in booth. I threaded all the projectors that have dropped already for tomorrow, so add another 18 to that 75. It'll be 18 by the time I leave, so 93 threaded shows today. I should just blow my brains out. I just wrote a poem called The Tetherball Ding. It came from something that happened Friday when I was walking across my front yard after coming home from getting a haircut. In the distance, I could hear a tetherball chain ding against the pole. I could hear the kids at Kristen McAuliffe playing at recess. It seems like yesterday, Kirk, Tim, Will, and I were racing from the lunchroom calling, first swing. Will always got it. I never did. I guess that's how it's always going to be. Before tonight's poems, it has been just under 2 months since I wrote one last. Larissa Olenek Blues, remember? I've only written 39 poems since I started my new book of poems back on November 14th. 39 in 6 months. Is that good or bad? Much shorter than my A Poem a Day hopes. Hopes. I put an L in there. Hopes. Fuck it. About 10 minutes, then I can fucking leave. Time to go, Chico. I'll see you back home. 2:20 a.m. Tim called me when I was driving home. We talked for about 20 minutes. The amount of pain in his voice was incredible. I do feel bad about all this, but it was not all my doing. Thinking about any of this makes me hurt, and it is so hard. I can't believe how I feel so bad not having looked into their eyes in weeks. But even then, the last faces and eyes that I want to see are Will's and Marilyn's. I don't understand my heart and mind right now. I don't want to see Will again. Part of me truly feels that. I can't hate Will, but I swear I do. I've never been mad at him, but now my fucking heart tears when I imagine his fucking face. And Marilyn's too. I want to fucking scream and cry away all this rage, but they don't deserve it. I won't shed a tear for them. 3:10 a.m. Marilyn called me right as I wrote those lines above. She was, and still maybe is, sitting outside of my house in her car. She cried for the entire 40 minutes we spoke. I started to tear up the last 5. She hates herself and doesn't understand me. She wants to be with my friends and hates herself for causing all this. She feels dead inside and hates that she's with Will and doesn't feel anything for him. 6:20 a.m. Marilyn called me back after I wrote that last part. We talked for over 3 hours. There was a lot of arguing and debating and this and that, but it was overall good. I do see that we don't want the same thing, and we won't ever be right together. But I still so want to be with her. In the course of the past 6 hours, I've gone from wanting to hate her and forget her to remembering more than ever why I love her so. End quote. Are you going to live your life wondering, standing in the back looking around? Are you going to waste your time thinking how you've grown up, how you've missed out? Jimmy Eat World song, A Praise Chorus.